I'd say that's probably that outward act, making the decision to do that was probably the real like catalyst for me that said, I really do want to live my life differently after this point.
That's I think too with Tim with your ministry is just you see people at all stages in their faith journey,
Yeah.
and then you get to see it relate to professional life. It's just this kind of just fits with so many stories that we have heard, which just tells me how many more are there.
Right.
You know?
That's exactly right. Because, I don't, there's nothing special about my story, right?
Sure.
It's one of those things where it's just my story,
Hmm.
and this is the path that I walked. And actually, now that I'm talking about that, though, that was probably the strongest link for me, aside from my wife and her faith in the Lord and her faith in her husband, that I would sort of get there, was the imperfections of my pastor at our church. He had walked through some things very publicly
Mm.
that were difficult. And I remember saying, like, I couldn't or wouldn't do that. But to see him, willing to stand up in front of his entire congregation and say, I did this and it was a bad choice. And to have him attend his own church for probably 3 months and watch somebody else preach, you know, I developed a lot of respect for him